Hey guys, welcome to the Love of Books, Movies, and Happiness. My name is April, and today we have a book review. This is a brand new author for me, and a new subject. I don't normally read thrillers, but as all book people know, at some point you have to start branching out into new types of books, new authors. Otherwise, you're just going to get bored with what you're already reading. As hard as that is to believe, it can happen. So I started kind of just going down the bookshelves and looking for some different genres and different authors that I've never read, just to see who else I might like that's out there. This book was on my library's new bookshelf, where they put all the books that have come out within the last 6 to 8 months or so. I think, something like that, maybe a year. She's definitely new for me, and I'm going to apologize ahead of time if I mispronounce her name. But this is Island Witch by Amanda Jayatissa, if the Google pronunciation was correct. It might have been Jayatissa. So if you know how to say her name, then I would love for you to leave a comment below this video and just giving me the correct pronunciation, because I would hate to mispronounce someone's name, because I know how annoying that can get. Trust me, I do. So she has wrote other books apparently. I've never read any of the other ones. Apparently she wrote a book called My Sweet Girl, which I will be checking out simply because I want to see if it's got the same vibe or feeling that this book gives off. I'm a huge magic, fantasy, anything paranormal, that kind of thing. I love those types of books. So when I saw the title was Island Witch, I was intrigued. So I picked it up to check it out to see if I would like it. Alright guys, so first off, this is not a happy-go-lucky, cheerful, everyone lives happily ever after, let's dance through the meadows kind of book. So if that is the book you are looking for, well then don't pick up this book at this time. But if you're looking for a very dark, very twisted, unexpected plot twist kind of book, then this is definitely the book you're looking for. Alright, so when we first start the book, I'm going to double check how to say her name because I don't want to ruin the character's name either. Amara. In a village of Kapua, which I'm assuming, I believe from the rest of the book, is somewhere possibly in India. I'm assuming because she's got the artwork and everything gives me that feeling of India. So Amara is the daughter of a local demon, kind of like a demonologist almost, only he's the local guy you would go to if you thought your kid was possessed and you needed to get the demon out. He does a lot of getting rid of the demons. He does a lot of charms to protect against demons possessing you, that kind of thing. And this is set in a different time. It's almost, can't remember my history of when it happened, but it's set back when England was first starting to colonize India. So it's very much a clash of religions type thing too, because you have the English are coming in with Christianity or Catholic, and then you have the people of India who have their own gods and their own beliefs, and their Buddha, And it's just a very big clash because, of course, with the English people taking over, they're losing their beliefs and being told that their way of doing things is wrong. So, this book, we meet Amara, who is the only child of the local demon person. And up until shortly before the book started, she would help her father. Much that her mother wasn't thrilled on that, she had a closer relationship with her father than she did her mother. Well, for Amara, it's confusing because for whatever reason, right before the book starts, she remembers coming down sick. And after coming down sick, she has weird flashbacks of like being in a hut that she doesn't recognize, and she just remembers fever and chills and just not feeling good. But ever since then, her father has been pushing her away, kind of pushing her more towards her mother, being like, it's time for you to stop helping me, you need to start being a young woman and start looking at marriage. At the same time, her mom is definitely pushing the same tune of, you need to start being a young woman, you need to look after your reputation, and we need to get you married. And for Amara, it's very confusing because she doesn't understand why there's such a huge turnaround on everyone's thinking. On top of it, her relationship with her best friend has changed ever since Christianity came into the village, because her best friend became a Christian and is now not socializing with Amara as much, because she's being taught that things that Amara's father does are evil or wrong. So she's kind of embracing the Englanders as they come in, and her friendship with Amara has just really changed, which is also confusing Amara. So, in the very first 2 chapters, you essentially get this feeling of it's a time of change. Her world's changing. She's at that point where everyone's expecting her to be a young woman and get ready for marriage. And all she wants to do is help her father and follow in his footsteps. It's kind of a clash of wills. So as we follow Amara, she keeps having flashbacks, nightmares. She wakes up, from sleepwalking, and finds herself on a beach. And she's just really confused because she almost wonders if a demon has gotten a hold of her. Is that possible? Well, at the same time that this is happening to her, there's been a lot of change within her village. Because before, the very same people that came to her father for help and looked at them with respect, they now look down on her father for what he does. They almost consider him to be evil or a witch at this point. And they want nothing to do with him in public, but in private they'll still come to him for help. For Amara and her mother, that means that they are also looked down upon, and they're having troubles within the village because her whole family is now considered wrong or evil and tainted. It's like a very minor hints of the witchcraft insanity and witch hunt that took place in Salem to a more minor degree. Simply that she's just looked down upon and they have issues because no one wants to interact with them. Which also makes it hard. It doesn't help that someone or something is attacking the men in her village. It's not killing the men at the moment, but it's attacking them and causing extreme harm to them. It's doing damage, it's tearing their faces up, it's breaking body parts. And they're never very clear on what exactly attacked them, but they're absolutely convinced that a demon has started attacking the village and that somehow Amara's father is to blame for it. Well, as we go through the book, Amara has a few times where she'll wake up on the beach covered in blood. So then she starts to wonder, is she the one attacking the villagers because she's angry? Is she the one causing bodily harm to everyone? Mind you, she's still dealing with some very odd flashbacks. And she'll get a memory of what almost sounds like her mother's voice telling her that if she speaks of this ever again, she'll rip out her tongue. And she has a few other flashbacks of someone saying that they've got her now and she's not getting away, and she has intense fear over these flashbacks. But she's not quite sure what's happening. She can't reach out to her father because he just pushes her towards her mother, and her mother is more focused on getting her married than she is on noticing that anything's wrong. To get her married, her mother reconnects with her parents, whom she's been very distant from, and tries to get them to help find Amara an eligible person to be married to. Well, Amara's not thrilled on this, understandably. And along with all of that, Amara ends up making a new friend. Only thing is no one else can see this friend. So that's what kind of sets off alarm bells for me, is she sees this girl. No one else sees her. Amara just thinks that she's great at hiding. Like she's a loner in the woods, in the jungle, that doesn't want anything to do with the tribe, but will interact with Amara. And she's fine with that, because it's a friend, it's someone that she can talk to that doesn't hate her. But no one else seems to even see the girl, let alone knows that she exists. Except for one elderly woman in the village who warns Amara that her father needs to seek forgiveness for something he's done before it destroys the whole village. You know, she's very confused by that and trying to figure out what's going on. So we follow throughout the book as Amara tries to live her life, but also tries to understand what is happening in her world. Because understandably, things are very much on an upheaval. She's very confused. And at a time when she should have her family helping her and friends supporting her and helping her understand things, everyone seems to have just kind of abandoned her, pretty much. Her father can barely look at her. Her mother just wants her married and away from the house. Her best friend is no longer really talking to her a whole bunch. And to top it off, the guy that she's been secretly seeing, well, when they're in the village one evening, it's announced that him and her best friend are now engaged. Which breaks her heart, because for her, that's an ultimate betrayal. So it's a very dark book. You can tell that Amara is not having a happy life. There is a lot going on in her life where she's just not. There's no sign of happiness for this poor girl. You almost feel sorry for her. At the same time, you get a feeling of dread with each chapter because you know that something is going to happen. And it does. The plot twist within the book is one that will, while not, it's not the one you're expecting. Let's put it that way. There is a point in the book where the identity of the demon is kind of identified, and that wasn't the plot twist for me. With everything that was going on, I was almost braced for that one. The plot twist is after that, towards the very end of the book, where you're not expecting a plot twist. And that is what caught me off guard. Is that the very last chapter is the unexpected part, and just, I don't know why it shocked me, but it kind of did, because I'm expecting a plot twist more in the middle of the story and then to resolve it. And instead, she waits until the last chapter and then uses the plot twist to help resolve everything. So if you are looking for a dark, revengeful, twisted kind of story, then by all means, go out and pick up your copy of Island Witch. There we go. If you're looking for a dark, twisted story that then has a happy ending, don't pick up this book, because you will not like the ending then. Overall, I give the book 4.5 stars out of 5. It is very good writing. It definitely draws you in. It's definitely a plot twist. Just not where I was expecting, but it still works. The characters make sense as you read. You know, as you see what's happening to Amara, you understand her personality better. As you watch her interact with other characters, you understand why she's more of a loner and more standoffish. So then it's just better. The only reason I don't give it 5 stars out of 5 is simply because I feel as if the parents in the story are not fully developed. I would have loved just a few more pages to kind of help explain the mom's attitude, because the mom has a very standoffish, distant attitude towards her own daughter. Like, there's no motherly connection in there. There's no feeling that she actually loves her daughter. It's just more of a duty than anything. Which, don't get me wrong, I don't live in happily ever after, so I'm fully aware that there are some out there that are like that. I just would have appreciated at least maybe 2 or 3 more paragraphs that just kind of gave a better understanding of the mom. Same with her dad. You know, I would have loved just a little bit more of a backstory on why he is the way he is. I mean, it's kind of explained towards the end of the book, but at the same time, for me, it's not fully explained. Other than that, though, I actually enjoyed this book. Despite the fact that it's not a style I normally read, I will be checking out her other books. And I do recommend reading this book if you're tired of the usual happy, summery, let's all be friends or everything's worked out kind of story. Then by all means, for a refresher, dive into this very dark and twisted story. Alright guys, if you enjoyed this review, then please check out my other reviews. You can find me on YouTube. I'm on Twitter. I'm even on Instagram. And I've got my Facebook page. Leave a comment if you liked this book or if you've read a similar book by her or any of her other books, and let me know how they are. I'm happy to talk about books any time of day, and I definitely take book recommendations. Remember guys, like, subscribe, and hit that bell button so you can be notified when I do my next video. Till next time guys, keep reading.